Hi, my name is Jeff Dixon, and once again we go to another conspiracy case. A case where we ask the question, is there evidence? Is there doubt? Are things as we have been told? And at the end of the day, we won't solve or unravel the conspiracy, although we'll lay it out for you. But we will make a spiritual point or two that might help you in your journey of faith. Today's conspiracy case is on the life and death of Martin Luther King Jr. See, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream of black and white Americans living in harmony. For some, however, King's dream was a nightmare. King was only too aware of the forces that were lining up against him. On the 3rd of April, 1968, while visiting Memphis to mediate in a strike, King told the congregation of the Mason Temple, "It really doesn't matter what happens now." Some began to talk about the threats that were out, what would happen to me from some of our sick white brothers. Like anybody, I want to live a long life. Longevity has its place, but I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will, and He has allowed me to go to the mountain. And I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. And I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. And so I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man, because my eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. Powerful words. Powerful words, and if you remember the setting, set in turbulent times where race relations here in America were as bad as people could remember, and maybe historically had come to a head in a way that they never had before. He gave those words on April 3rd, 1968. The next day, at 6:01 p.m., as he lounged on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, King was fatally shot. Colleagues inside the motel room from King's civil rights organization, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, on hearing the shots, ran out onto the balcony to find him severely wounded in the neck. The world's youngest recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize was pronounced dead at St. Joseph's Hospital at 7:05 p.m., just a little over an hour after he'd been shot. The murder would lead to riots in more than 60 American cities. Certainly, the assassination of a leader of the caliber of Martin Luther King Jr. goes down in history as not only a tragic moment, but a moment when evil was put on display. And that event, in the midst of a galvanizing time in American history, became a turning point that not only, I believe, helped move the nation forward in dealing with civil rights, but it also did something else. It opened up a conspiracy case, a case that we're going to be looking at over the next couple episodes. So get ready. It will be an adventure, to be sure. And you may hear the story in a way you've never heard it before, because sometimes the official story isn't always the truth. And sometimes the official story is not the best story. And so we will look in the days ahead. I look forward to joining you next time.